welcome to all the old-time audio fanatics at the Old Radio and Gramophone Museum. Today we will go back 100 years, to the times of the gramophone format war, which almost everyone has forgotten today. On the one hand, Thomas Edison with his eccentric diamond disc. On the other, Émile Berliner, whose idea eventually conquered the world, you know. But which sounds better? Why is the Edison disc so heavy? And why are they incompatible? Now let's check. Edison disc, Edison Diamond Disc. This is not just a record. It is almost half a centimeter of a sandwich of pressed cellulose and phenolic resin. The main feature is vertical recording, hill and dale. The needle goes up and down. And it itself is made of real diamond, which does not need to be replaced. Berliner disc, gramophone record. The classic that we know. Lateral, side, recording. The needle moves left and right. The material is shellac. The needles are steel, which must be changed after each listening. The technology of Berliner gramophones and records is much cheaper than the competitor. What we will test our discs on. For high fidelity of the experiment. We had to put the two best gramophones of these two competing companies side by side and play only the discs suitable for them on each. But as always, the BUT factor intervenes, which always makes its own adjustments. We simply do not have an Edison system gramophone. But there is a universal gramophone from Brunswick, which allows you to play all three types of records by simply rotating the pickup head around its axis in two planes. And we will play diamond discs on it. This is not ideal, but a compromise option. And whether our experiment will be successful is a big question. Because to play Edison discs, a completely different head design and a diamond, not a metal, needle must be used. And it is possible that this will negate all the advantages of diamond discs. Well, we will first play Berliner's transverse modulation records on a classic Paith gramophone with an HMV head. And then on the same Brunswick, but with the Tony arm head turned to play these discs. And for the same purity of the experiment, we will also use a gramophone with a mechanical recording of those times, which was used in recording studios until 1926. So, to the experiment. You hear the better sound of Edison discs? To be honest, I don't. I'm disappointed. Still, a compromise is always a compromise. It is clear that the universal rotary head with a steel needle from Brunswick is not able to fully realize all the advantages of the diamond disc, which must be played with a diamond needle and a head of a completely different design. But the difference is there is much less noise, hiss and crackles on its discs, and the sound seems more alive, although it may only seem so to me. What about you? So our experiment can be considered not entirely successful. We will have to look for Edison's original gramophone to confirm the superiority of the sound of his discs. Edison fanatically sought perfect voice reproduction. His discs rotated at a speed of 80 revolutions per minute and, according to blind tests by experts of that time, had an incredible depth of sound. And Berliner won thanks to logistics. His records were lighter, cheaper, more durable and easier to produce. And another factor that contributed to the popularity of Berliner records is a much larger offer of music genres and performers, when, by the combined efforts of many record companies, they offered listeners hundreds of times more content than just one Edison company. And again, a few words about the design of old technology, which is difficult to be indifferent to. Look at these devices as works of art. This is an era when technology was part of the interior, like expensive furniture made of walnut or oak. Edison considered his players to be musical instruments, not just machines. And, holding this heavy disc in your hands, you understand what he was talking about. The diamond disc lost the market, but won eternity in terms of quality. Today it is a real treasure for a collector. And what would you choose? The uncompromising quality of Edison or the practicality of Berliner? Write in the comments. Subscribe to our club and let your technology always sounds clean. See you soon!